first, because we're going to be applying this deck in a second, and that's how that's going to look. Now, you this one, just attach it to the top of the lifeboat, which will only go on one way. You can hear a little bit of a click. Hey all, welcome back to the channel, Rich43. Hope you're all okay, guys. Hope you're all doing good. Today I'm building the Titanic from Hatchet Works, issue 45. If you want to come along with me with this build, guys, remember to subscribe if you've not already done so. Press the bell notification not to miss out on any future videos, and please give us a big like, we'd really appreciate that. But without further ado, guys, let's crack on with this week's build of the Titanic from Hatchet Works. Okay then, guys, before we get on with this week's build of the Titanic issue 45, I thought I'd give you a bit of a recap what we did last week. First of all, what we did, we got the central deck and the boat deck, as you can see, and we connected those together. We put a bit of decking on each side of this piece, and all we had to do was connect them together with those two clips, as you can see in the middle there. So if you want to take a look at that video, guys, feel free to take a look. And if you want to come along with me on this build, subscribe and bell notification not to miss out on any future videos I put up. Also, what we did is we joined the two superstructures together, the officers' quarters and the staircase. It was a pretty cool build last week, guys. A lot went on. If you want to see this being built and you haven't seen it already, take a look at the playlist for the Titanic build. You'll find it easily enough on my channel, and then you can watch it from day one or just from wherever you want to watch, guys. But if you want to come along, yeah, take a look, subscribe and press your bell notification so you don't miss out on any future builds to do with the Titanic or anything on my channel. But now, without further ado, we'll take a look through this week's mag for this build of the Titanic from Hatchet Works. Okay, so we'll start off then by looking through this week's mag. Look through. Right, straight away, guys, coming in next week's issue are lifeboats 4 and 6, lifeboat block, gear up, tarpaulins, davits, bench, winch and decking. This is where it's going to get a bit serious now, guys. Things are going to start getting a lot more interesting now, guys, a lot more fiddly, which is all good fun. Here in the magazine you've got games, toys and models of the Titanic. Do you know what? My son's built that, both of them. I don't know if it's that exact one, but for Christmas, yeah, they've built the Titanic with Lego. It's brilliant, that. It's not exactly, it's like that, but if that makes sense, it's not that exact one, I don't think. But it's still made out of Lego. They really enjoyed that. This one looks a bit more detailed, to be fair. You've got the decking and everything, all the different decks. It's pretty cool, that. Never seen that one before. That looks pretty cool. I think they'll be wanting that at Christmas. Right, but back to this build then, guys. Today it looks like we're building the first two lifeboats. Applying some more decking. And also, yeah, putting the davits on. This looks a bit fiddly, guys, but I think it's obviously doable. We should be all right. But we was expecting it ain't gonna just be decking and simple things. It's going to get fiddly now, guys, and we're going to do this over and over again. So yeah, let's have a look what we've got in this week's box of goodies. Oh, and over in the UK at the minute, guys, you know that I'm an Elvis fan, and the movie what started me off on being an Elvis fan was the Baz Luhrmann Elvis film. Well, in the UK, on the Sky Cinema, we've got Elvis on for the next week. So that's brilliant. I'm going to be watching that over the weekend, even though I've watched it how many times. Just thought I'd let you know if you're an Elvis fan and you've seen the Elvis shorts I put up weekly. Take a look, guys, if you can get hold of it. We've even got in the UK on Sky Elvis, I think it's Elvis channel or something, Sky Elvis or something like that. So they're putting all the old movies from Elvis, and on the premiere you've got the Elvis movie from Baz Luhrmann, which I love. Right, so let's look at the parts we've got in this week's issue, guys. Again, they're in a nice little envelope, so they're all protected. Just check there's nothing else in there. As you can see, it's empty. And these are all the Davits, etc. All the very tiny little pieces. I always double check, guys, in the envelope that there's nothing left in there, because you don't want to throw them away, because you're going to have a whole lot of issues if you lose any of the parts. Right, so what we've got, you've got 45A, which are the lifeboats 3 and 5. And I'll take one of those at the minute and just show you. Pretty cool, those. What I'm going to do, guys, I'll leave the deck in there, which is 45L, and then I can place everything else over here until we need them. Right, we've got 45B, which are lifeboat block gear. There's 4 of these. These tiny little plastic things here. We've got 4 of those. So I'm going to rummage through these little pieces. This week doesn't seem like it's much of a big issue to build. It's just got a little bit fiddlier, that's all. And guys, if you've watched the last video I did, which was the Millennium Falcon, I'm not going to harbour on, I don't have sympathy. You know I'm just getting through a cold, and that's why my voice is a bit ugh. There's 3 there, we need 1 more of these lifeboat block gears. Right, where is it? I'm looking at it. Oh, this is a bit worrying, guys. Have we lost a piece? And there you go, guys. It was there, right at the bottom, stuck in the crevice of that envelope. That's why I say double check, and I did double check, and I still missed that. What I do though, I don't chuck anything, any envelopes or box until the issue's done, because if you do, if I'd have chucked straight in the bin that envelope, I would have had a lot of issues. Even me double checking it, I still didn't see that 45B lifeboat block gear in the bottom. Luckily I've found it now, guys. Right, this is 45C. These are the tarpaulins. And all these pieces in this week's issue, guys, are plastic, apart from the decking, obviously. And then we've got this little piece here, 45D, which is the winch. And then we've got 45E and 45F. See, I think these are all different, but you've got 45E, 45F, 45G, and 45H. These are all Davit arms. You've got Davit arm A, B, C1, and C2. Now, guys, with these Davit arms, which I've put now to the right of the screen, they do all look very similar, which it does note that here. But if you look very closely, the 3 Davit arms have got 2 pins. So there's 3 with 2 pins, and you've got 2 with 2 pins which are in the centre. Trying to get that on camera for you, because just by the naked eye, as soon as you look at them, they look all the same. And then you've got 2 Davit arms with 2 pins diagonally, like so, and then you've got like a little gap there. So yeah, just bear that in mind, guys, and make sure you get your Davit arms in order, because then when you apply them, you're going to be applying the right Davit arms to the right place. Right, back to the parts we've got. Also with 45I, 45J and 45K, which are the Davit base A, B and C. These look identical with the naked eye, guys, but they're not. I'm just showing you here on this red picture so they stand out better for you. 45A is this piece here, where that's got, I'll hold it with the tweezers so you can see better. There you can see 2 little holes and then a raised piece of plastic there and 2 rivets at the bottom. And then you've got 45J, which has got 3 little holes and then 2 little pins there and 1 top left. And then you've got 45K, which has got 3 holes and then a raised piece of plastic to the right and 2 pivots, 2 rivets, 2 pins, should I say, just there. But to look at those quickly, they do all look the same, but they are different, guys. You've got two 45Ks, one 45J and one 45A. So just bear that in mind, guys, when you're sorting your stuff out in this week's issue. A lot of the stuff looks all identical, but it isn't. Close up, there is a difference to each part. Just thought I'd let you know that, because if not, you're going to be applying them to the wrong parts on the model, and I think you're going to have to glue them, and if they're already glued, you're going to have a lot of issues. So just bear that in mind, guys. There is a note at the bottom of the instructions here, just telling you they all look very similar, but you have to sort them out how it says in the instructions. Okay, so into instruction 1, take the front section of the boat deck 41A, which is what we built last week, which what I showed you in the intro, so we'll get that in a sec, and the decking 45L, which is going to be this part here. As you know, guys, if you watched my video last week and you've seen the intro, this is getting massive. So I'm just going to do the shot section at a time. That's going to be the best way to do it, so you can see what I'm doing. But yeah, this is 41A and this is 45L. What I'm going to do is do a dry fit first, because we're going to be applying this deck in a second, and that's how that's going to look. Now, you know me, guys, I apply a little bit of glue to the plastic before applying this decking, as it's just adhesive, and I find from earlier issues, by just using the adhesive, it doesn't stick very well, and then it starts peeling up. So what I do is make sure the area is clean. And then we just apply bits of glue, which I'm going to have to get hold of some because I'm running out and there's very little left. That should be alright for this week. Just apply that top so it doesn't dry up. And then what we do, guys, is take the adhesive off, or the backing. Let's call it the backing. Now, I'm being very careful here, because I don't know if you've seen past builds I've done with the Titanic of the decking. This cork decking does break very easily. Yeah, that took a bit getting off, that backing did, but we've got there. Now, what we'll do is put that where it's got to go, gently drop it down, make sure all the holes are available for the parts we're going to put on. Gently rub it with your finger. You can use a cloth for this bit if you want to, guys. See these little gaps where the decking's joining? I won't worry about that, because by the time you've put all your little pieces, what we're going to be applying over the next months, you're not going to see that. But that is a perfect fit anyway. There's nothing wrong with that there, guys. That's perfect. That's how that's looking. Just making sure everything's stuck down in every corner. Do you know what, as the build's gone on, I think they've done something with these deckings, because they are sticking a lot better. And that's just me saying put glue on, guys. You ain't got to put glue on. I mean, this is stuck pretty well on the left, as you can see. I think you might get away with just sticking it with the adhesive once you've took the backing off, but me being me, I've just put a bit of glue just to make sure, because earlier decking, what I was putting on, it kept peeling up, so I applied a little bit of glue. But as you can see, that's pretty cool. Let me just show you a close-up. That's how that looks. So that's the decking 45L applied to 41A. Now to instruction 2, we're going to be fitting 45D, which is this piece here. This is the winch. Now you've got two pins there, guys, you can see. A small and a big piece, big pin, should I say. So you've got the big hole there and the smaller there. So obviously the big pin's going to go into the big hole and the small into the small. So we need a bit of glue on these pins. Of course you can use tweezers to apply this, guys. I'm going to try and just do it without. There's way too much glue on that. But yeah, that's the winch fitted to the decking. That's how that looks. what I'm going to have to do, guys, is just keep moving this decking out of the way, obviously for space. So if I just put it to the bottom of the screen, then we can crack on with instruction 3. So now what we're going to do is take Davit arm A and 45E and Davit base A and 45I. So these are the two pieces you want, guys, 45E and 45I. But if you look at this diagram here, it is self-explanatory. Where the red rings are, it's telling you've got 2 little pins there, and the blue circles, you've got 2 holes diagonal there. So you shouldn't go wrong here, guys, with that. It gets a bit more easier as they're explaining the instruction, and with the arrows and that, you can't go wrong, guys. You can't get the wrong piece. At the beginning of the video, looking at the parts, they look the same and identical, but as soon as you go through to the instruction, guys, it's all good. So you want to apply a little bit of glue on the pins here, just a tiny little bit of glue, which is 45E, and then if you get your tweezers, just so you don't get glue everywhere, and also there, look, you've got that little lip, and then what you want to do is apply this piece, 45E to 45I, and that is the finished result of that piece done, of that Davit arm. So it looks. And then we'll put that to one side while it's drying, and then we're going to lift the decking up again, so we can see instruction 4 and what we've got to do. Take Davit arm 45H, which this one, guys, has got little pins each side, so we want that one. And then we want 45J, which this one has got, put those down a second. Right, this is the one of 2, this is. So you've got 2 circles there, one at the top and one to the left. If you just look at the diagram there, you can see 2 circles there, one in the middle, one to the left, and that's the one we want, guys. So if we put that there, so as you can see here, guys, we've got the 3 davits all in line. The top one is for instruction 4, and the other 2 are going to be for instruction 5. What I've done is put them on basically a tea mat, coffee cup mat, so you can see them stand out as they're going to blend into the magazine if I leave them white on white. So I've set them out how it's telling me to set them out, guys. It's very self-explanatory. If you just follow the diagrams and follow the red rings and the blue rings, you can't go wrong. So like I say, I've set mine out ready for you to save a bit of time. What we're going to do is apply a little bit of glue to each of these pins, just a tiny bit, which I'm being careful they don't spew out. There we go, it's coming out now. Yeah, just a tiny bit of glue, guys, and then we'll get this piece. Then again, it might be easier to do it this way. How this wants to fit is you've got to put these 2 little pins in the 2 left and right hole, like so. So it should look. And you want to take 45F, again, apply a little bit of glue on these little pins which are diagonal. This might seem a bit all gobbledygook. I hope I'm explaining it pretty well, especially if you're coming along with me and you're building along with me, guys. But I promise you, with the instructions in front of you, it is very simple to follow, to be fair. It looks more daunting than it is. So just be confident. Follow the instructions, you can't go wrong. Now, these have got to go diagonal, so we want that like that. And basically putting those into the holes where I've not got nothing in already. Which should take you to have it like so. And it should look like that. So you've got one veering to the right and one vertical. So that looks, You can see the other side. And you can see that little lip that goes into the raised pin. So that's as good as done. Put that to one side. And now we're going to do the same for 45G, 45K and 45H. This is 45G. I need to get me some glue, guys. I'm running out of glue. I should be alright for this week's issue. So you've got blue rings on them pins, blue rings on the two holes. So you just follow the instructions. You put the blue rings to blue rings. Now guys, I'm filming this at different time this week. So there's a lot more different noises going on in the background. Now I thought it'd be better me doing it the time I'm doing it, but it's a bit more noisier. So sorry if you can hear the background noise. So turn those over. The blue into blue and the red into red. So that's how that goes. Like so. That's how that looks. That's that one done. And now last but not least, we're doing 45G, 45K and 45H. So I need a bit more glue on there. And we've got blue to blue, so blue pins into the blue holes. Easier said than done on this one. Playing up a bit, there we go. That's that done. And now we need to glue 45H pins. I do hope you're enjoying this, guys, this build. I really am. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, guys. And please give us a big like after watching the video. It really helps. Right, so it's red pins to red holes. There we go. Now as you can see, these two davits we've done, if I get them for you, they're both just vertically up like so. Where's the other two? They're like that. One's got a diagonal one and one's got a diagonal single one. I think that's right. I hope that's right. We will find out. So now what we're going to do is instruction 6. It's telling us to identify the fixing points for the 4 davits, which we'll do shortly. Make sure we put the right davits into the right holes on the decking. So if I just get the decking over, and if I put that there, just diagonal at the top of the screen, then you can see what's going on with the diagram also. So what it's saying is we need 45K, which I think is, let me look, just making sure I get the right one here, guys. So yeah, I've got 45K. There's two 45Ks, those are the straight davits, and you've got 45J, which has got two, one straight, one diagonal, and you've got 45A, which is the one diagonal davit. And now what we've got to do, guys, is attach it to the decking. You've got a large pin and a small pin, and you've got a large hole and a small hole, and you've guessed it, you've got to put the large pin in the large hole and the small pin in the small hole. So if we just put a bit of glue on here, yeah, you can hear my dog in the background, Bailey, barking at passers-by. They don't know what I'm doing, do they? The dogs. Just protecting the territory. That's a quick one, guys. If you're new to the channel and you've not seen already, take a look through the playlist of last summer when we built, you know, one of these 12-foot pools, do-it-yourself pools. Which I say that, it's a pretty cool pool. It's still up. got to maintain it and that. Take a look at that if you want a bit of fun, guys, and seeing a Labrador swimming in it. What we'd done is we built it up. It took 12 hours to fill, 6,000 litres of water, perfect clear water for the kids to jump in, because it was a hot summer last year. And who jumps in it first? Well, if I remember right, the kids had gone in and she jumped straight in it with them, and we couldn't get her out of it. Check that out, guys. Check that video out and make you chuckle. I think you'll laugh at that. Right, so it's the last Davit here, guys, we're putting in. Apply a little bit of glue. Oh, is this glue going to last me? Should do. Not got much left though. Right, so apply that in there. There she goes again. And this is why I usually do my filming when everyone's in bed. Right, but there you go, guys. That's all the Davits fitted. So that's that done. Now I've moved the two pieces of decking away with those Davits on, because we've not got to do anything else with that this week, I don't think. We're on instruction 7 now, guys. So what it's saying do is fit the tarpaulin 45C to each of the lifeboats 45A, and fit the block gear 45B into the slots at each end of the tarpaulin. Do not use glue, right? So we don't need no glue at this stage, guys. We probably will further down, but not at the minute. So take the lifeboat, like so. And you get the tarpaulin. All this is plastic, guys, and you can hear that click. That's how that looks. And then you've got to take the block gear, which is 45B, and basically just push that on. But remember, no glue is needed at this time, guys, so you're going to have to keep these safe and not lose any parts, but that does secure the lifeboat for now. So that's how that lifeboat looks. And then same again with this one. Just attach it to the top of the lifeboat, which will only go on one way. You can hear a little bit of a click. And then get the block gear. Again, that'll only go in one way. Don't be too hard on it, just give it a nice little push in. You don't want to snap them. And there you go, that's lifeboat 2 done. And that is it, you've got 2 lifeboats also done in this issue. Guys, that is it for this week's build of the Titanic. We've applied some more decking, 4 Davits, built 2 lifeboats, and that is it for this week's issue 45 of the Titanic build from Hatchet Partworks. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. I'd really appreciate that, guys. See you in the next one. Peace. That is it for this week's build of the Titanic from Hatchet Partworks. I do hope you enjoyed it, guys. This week, basically what we've done is built 2 lifeboats, attached 4 Davits, and done a strip of decking. The lifeboat's going to have to be put to one side for now for a future issue. Guys, if you want to come along with me on this build, please feel free to subscribe. Press the bell notification not to miss out on any future builds of this build, the Titanic, or any other build or any other content on my channel, Rich43. Really appreciate your support, guys. Give us a big subscribe, a big juicy like, comment and share. Love to hear from you guys. But for this week, guys, for the Titanic build from Hatchet Partworks, that is it. I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Peace.